trying our favorite mango, manga, in Latin America. It is a delicious fruit that we have second year now in a row that we've been able to eat this mango. A little bit of background about the mango. We think it could be anywhere between 50 to 75, maybe even 100 years old. Could have been planted out by the old school Riesner nursery. It's a little bit south of us where it's located, the mother tree, and we have been fortunate enough to harvest them, quite a few this year. It's a little bit earlier mango, starts early season June. It's probably done now. We're July 4th filming this video, and yeah, it's delicious. We think it's up there with the Angie's, the sweet tarts, the ice creams, pina colada. It is a classic flavor. It is very deliciously sweet. There's a little bit of fiber.
It has aroma as well.
Actually, very little fiber.
These are actually our last two fruit because we ate them all and we realized we had to make a video just to also remind ourselves what we would describe these flavors as and how we would characterize these mangoes.
And some of them got a little bit bigger than this. I mean, it is a medium size, not a huge mango. It is delicious. It's on the bigger size. Some of them have been a little bit smaller, and we've actually had them almost, a pound and a half. They are absolutely gorgeous in color. These are fully ripe, and of course we didn't tree ripen these. We picked these a little bit early, let them ripen outside, and we've been holding them in our fridge for about the last 4 or 5 days to do this tasting.
All right.
So we're going to show you how Annie has shown us how to eat mangoes and mangas.
First. I like to use this. It's a potato peeler. It's actually a German potato peeler.
Don't skimp out on the quality there.
And it's very simple. It only has 2 parts, so it doesn't break very easy. And it's all metal, so it lasts forever. And you can buy these replacement blades as well. All right. So I like to remove the peel like this because it helps to preserve the most amount of flesh. When you peel it with a knife, you usually cut into the flesh so much and some of it gets wasted. These are a little bit overdue. Maybe they've been in the fridge for a little bit, just chilling.
But you can cut them in half and just scrape the flesh like I like to do. There was a good week there when we had so many of these that we were doing that every day. And then Annie said, "Riley, why don't you just peel them and try them this way?" I said, "Well."
I just like to put a large piece in my mouth without having to worry about anything else.
Let's see.
All right.
Delicious
This
flesh.
is the inside. Maybe
Very,
a little bit closer.
very little
Rolly.
to no jelly seed.
Yeah, this is the color inside. Very good. The texture is still really
And what do we
good.
call this mango?
We call it Powerline.
This is Powerline. This is an old school seedling. I brought it to Tropical Research Education Center last year, and we had Dr. Jonathan Crane try it. We don't know where it came from. It potentially could be a Glen seedling. It could not be a Glen seedling. It's just really, really a quality mango that every year seems to fruit, whether we have a lot of chill hours or not so many chill hours. And we have one tree that we're going to plant. We're also going to cocktail a tree that we have in my parents' planting in Apollo Beach. We're going to get it too. And we've had some other mango friends of ours try this, and they described it as being delicious. But we did a taste test with Fruit Punch, Angie, Kathy, Super Julie. I mean, really good quality mangoes. And this hung with all those with no problems, no issues. It's truly delicious. I mean, the flesh is gorgeous.
You can already smell some of the aromas. The flavor is, it has a lot of sweetness. It has acidity.
Which is good. It's not just like, for me, Fruit Punch is just sweet. It's missing a little bit of what this mango has. Sometimes it will have a little bit of coconutty.
Yeah, exactly. Toward the rind, it does have like very nice aromas. also depends on
ripeness.
Yeah,
Picking.
we've had some that are really good, that are a little bit like right there, that are perfectly ripe, not one day too far, not one day too little. And those I like the best because they have a little bit more acidity, and they have more of this very nice aroma that the mango has.
And I mentioned the fiber. The fiber is really just here towards the seed, the seed coat. But if you're like me, you like to eat all around this because I think towards the seed has really delicious flavor, and then towards the skin as well. But I mean, this one is perfect.
Yeah, I just had a really good piece.
We weighed it out, and it's definitely worth
it had
the wait.
acidity, it had sweetness, it had
You
aroma.
can see there, it's fiberless flesh, just a little bit towards the seed, like I was saying, but absolutely delicious. This is Powerline. Gets its name because sometimes when you pick it, you have to make sure to not hit the power line because Annie will free climb. The tree is huge. The tree looks like a live oak tree here, and Annie will free climb 40, 50 feet and go up there with the picker, and I wait at the bottom and she throws them down to me. The mama tree is very large. It's in jeopardy of potentially being developed, so we're wanting to preserve these genetics because this is a delicious mango that should be around for.
Yeah. So
it hits you with sweet, and then at the end there's this, not like a sweet tart where it's overwhelmingly sweet and then a little bit of tart. It's sweet, and then right after that the tart and the subacid comes on, and although it is classic flavor, it's more complex than Kent or a Keat or like a regular Glen or something along those lines.
it definitely has more acidity than Glen. Definitely. And that's what I think makes it great, that it has that acidity. To me, Glen is a classic flavored mango that is overall, it's a good producer, it performs well, but to me it's lacking like a kick or a punch. And this mango, again and again, every time we eat it, it's so rewarding, it's so delicious.
Like a lot of times too with Glen, it's just sweet. It's just, and Valencia Pride, same way when you have a good Valencia Pride. It's just a great mango, very sweet, but it's just, I mean, it's not just sweet. This is special. And it's fruited the last 2 years we've been there quite heavily. This year more so than others. At least last year. Last year was not an overall great mango year in Central South Florida. This year, 2023, has been exceptional. Harvest started in April, and it's hopefully going to go through.
And when we
August.
pick them, they are already extremely fragrant. The sap is very fragrant. The mangoes themselves, if they are ripe, fallen from the tree, or if they are pretty ripe when we harvest them, some of them are obviously ripening on the tree, and the sap and the fruit is very fragrant already there. So,
and the tree itself is upright. It's a little bit spreading canopy, but very open. It's nothing like Alfonso, with the super dense canopy, or some of the other Indian mangoes. Not as spindly and straight erect as, like a Kent, but it is quite.
I would say the girth of the tree probably is around 5 feet, 4 feet.
It's a large tree.
Yeah.
So
we're not the only ones who have discovered it. We have arrived to it, and it has been picked before
in the neighborhood, but they seem to get all the low ones, whereas the true mango freaks climb all the way to the top, and the other one sits here and collects them. I have the easy job, although sometimes if they fall, I have to try to run and grab them so that they don't split. The squirrels love them too. Of course, they love mangoes in general. But how's this one? Just as delicious. We collected budwood last year in August, and we grafted it in August. We have one really good mama plant that we're going to get in the ground.
Graft more this year. We're just waiting for the buds to.
One person from the Manatee Rare Fruit Council tree sale He's a guy in Manatee or Sarasota area, and he'd asked me, what is this Powerline Mango? And I really hope that he was able to grow this plant out, because he's one of the only few people that got a tree from us. And you know, he likes the more unique stuff, but this is a true Central Florida mango.
It's part of the heritage and the history of this area too, because in Bradenton, way back in the day, a lot of mango groves were established and a lot of mango was produced there. And what Jonathan Crane explained to us is that back in the day, some of the programs from the extension or from the ag service were to give out seedlings to people so that they would try to grow these different plants that weren't really from the area. So he seems to think that there is a possibility that this was a seedling that was given out to farmers and that they grew it out. And we think all of this because of the age of the tree. Like, it's not a grafted tree. We can't visibly see a graft unit. Of course, in a tree this old, it's also really hard, but we couldn't find anything. And it's also very rare that a tree that age would be grafted, because back in the day, there wasn't so much, information yet out there. So a lot of people were just planting seedlings and seeing what happened.
Selecting and seeing.
So Bradenton has an amazing history about mangoes. We don't even nearly know as much as other people do, but there's definitely very old trees out there that are very special, and they are not all turpentines or not all stringy. There's really good mangoes out in the area, and we happened to find this one, and we really, really like it a lot, and we would like to start producing more trees of this. And giving it to people. We think that it can perform very well here, and overall it seems like Central Florida is proving to be a better and better and better area to grow mangoes. Production.
And another beautiful thing about this fruit is we've not seen any post-harvest issues, no bacterial black spot. It doesn't seem, and we went there too when it was flowering, and the panicles didn't seem to have ridiculous amounts of anthracnose, if any anthracnose at all.
No powdery mildew.
No powdery mildew. So it could be a true winner, but again,
it's also older. It's a little bit more inland. It's not coastal.
Right, that's something else too. So it could perform in more humid, wet areas quite well.
But yeah, so this was our tasting. This one, I thought it was even better than the first one.
This mango is out of this world.
It's delicious. And the seed is not overly large.
That's you.
Yeah, you can see the seed.
Oh, the seed is a mono. It's a monoembryonic.
It's a monoembryonic seed. So another clue that tells us, yes, it may be related to Glenn's. You can see, yeah. But
Glenn is, we compared this, our friends L&B Groves, we got some Glens from them early on, and we ate some, and we tried some of those Glens, and we did a perfectly ripened Glen directly compared to Powerline, and Glen is a great mango. I'm not knocking a taste compared to this. Color is very similar. The blushing was completely different. As you saw, Powerline is a full uniform color, not with the red tint or purplish. But this is just hands down, Annie and I's probably our favorite mango all around. It is absolutely delicious, and hopefully you'll be seeing Powerlines in the future. Hopefully we can get this genetics across to people in the state, and we can, see Powerlines in the future on the tasting table at people's places.